Well, this wasn't too bad. Sonic Lost World is currently the latest Sonic game ported to PC by Sega and was a strong indicator for a direction Sonic could have taken. But it's undermined by a lack of cohesion and refinement. The story is about Sonic and Tails chasing Dr. Eggman to rescue some captured animals, leading them to the world of the Lost Hex, where Eggman has recruited the aid of a group of creatures called the Deadly Six. But when Sonic's short-sightedness screws everyone over, Sonic and Tails are forced to join forces with Eggman to take down the Deadly Six and save their world. But this is ultimately irrelevant because the story has as much impact on the gameplay as my foot does on the state of Syria. The only time the story ever really crops up is during cinematics or when a boss fight with one of the Six occurs. And even then the story's pretty basic and nothing special, but it gets the job done. The gameplay is actually pretty interesting. Like in Sonic Generations, the gameplay is a mix of fully 3D platforming and some classical 2D platforming. The difference here is that the 3D sections make use of a 360-degree design, reminiscent of the cancelled Sonic Extreme or Super Mario Galaxy. This is actually a nice change and lets the game stand out amongst its peers, but with the stage's rotation, it's pretty easy to get disoriented and run right into an obstacle. There's also a good variety of art styles for the stages that brings changes to the level design and the physics, which gives the game a good deal of variety, but this comes at the cost of level cohesion, making each level feel disconnected and in its own world. There's also the problem that some of these changes occur in one level and then are just gone for good, meaning that as soon as you get used to them, they're just gone. Some other new changes include being able to stock up on power-ups like in Super Mario Bros. 3 and the inclusion of a run button. I've heard some people complain that making Sonic walk by default goes against his traditional design, but really, those people are just whining. Sure, it takes some getting used to, but it gives you a degree of control over Sonic's speed that allows for some precision platforming that really was never there before. There is also an issue of flow. See, the funnest levels in the game all have a great sense of flow, even when they demand you slow down. But when the flow stops, or if it's exclusively touch and go through trial and error, you're either going to get bored or just straight up annoyed at the tedium of it all. Another new inclusion is the addition of optional objectives, like collect 500 rings in the casino level. These add some diversity to the levels outside of just reaching the goal at the end, but as far as I can tell, the only real benefit to these are just power-ups, and unlike the prior games, you can pretty much just ignore these and finish the levels without them. There's no real demand for you to use them. The boss battles with the Deadly Six aren't anything special either. It's just your usual learn the boss's patterns and attack when you can. They have some decent build-up, but can be pitifully easy, and as soon as you've won, there's no fanfare, it's just end goal and then get back to the oddly designed level select screen. The worst offender is actually the fight with the female member of the Deadly Six. Really, that needed to be reassessed. Now, this review is based on the PC version, which was optimized around a smooth 60 FPS that only ever really dipped down into 40 during one level in particular. But unlike Valkyria Chronicles, it only comes bundled with one piece of DLC, the Nightmare Zone, which is essentially a boss rush level but has a nice art style themed after Sega's Knight's Journey into Dreams. It's a nice diversion, but if you want the other DLC, sorry, you're gonna need to get the original Wii U version, since the other DLC is Nintendo themed and Sega would never have been able to bring it over with this port. As a complete package, Sonic Lost World has some good ideas that really could benefit from refinement in future games. But as it stands, it's not really anything special. If you're a Sonic fan, it's a complete coin toss as to whether or not you're gonna like it. And as an average consumer though, it's still gonna be a coin toss. But if you do decide to check it out, I can't recommend enough that you get it when it's on sale. At full price, it's really not worth paying that much.
Well, there you go, folks. The motion is passed unanimously.
I didn't raise my hand.
Alright, awesome. Finally got these two reviews out of the way. Coming up next, I'm going to have reviews of Lost Planet 3 and Sacred 3, so stay tuned for those. But in the meantime, how about you check out some of my other game reviews, some of my movie reviews, or maybe my video on how to make a good cup of coffee. Here's the secret. You make a sacrifice of blood to one of the old gods. Oh, and don't forget to like, favorite, and subscribe.